I thought that one of the ways to get real answers to real questions is to simply go through some of the emails that I get on a pretty much daily basis. So people sending me emails with questions that they need help with on how to start Medicare or what to do in certain situations, and it can run a gambit of different things. So I thought it'd be a great way to give insight into what other people are going through and really answer a whole bunch of questions. I'm Keith Armbrecht, founder of Medicare on Video. I help people across the country make the right Medicare choices. I can absolutely help you as well. And if you stay till the end, I'll show you how to download my free book, Medicare Made Clear. It's got a lot of information in it, everything that you need for Medicare now and in the future. So we're gonna go through an email right now that I just got recently, and I'll do this on a regular basis. So if you find it interesting, certainly subscribe to the channel. That way you'll get notifications, and maybe that email question will be the exact same question that you're facing. So we're gonna go right now to one that I got recently that came from Bob. And Bob says, I've been watching your Medicare related videos and they are great. So Bob's off to a great start. That makes it easy for me to answer his questions. It never hurts to suck up just a little bit. My situation is I'm still working and would like to continue for a company with over 20 employees. So already he knows that makes a difference, over 20 or under 20. So he's been watching some videos. I have just entered my Medicare enrollment window, 65 years minus 3 months. So he's 3 months ahead of where he's going to turn 65. Again, perfect, he's right on time. And I see that apparently the best course right now is for me to sign up for Medicare Part A, stay on my employer's health insurance until I decide to retire, and then start Part B application process. Now that, for a lot of people, is absolutely the exact way to go. There's some issues with signing up for Part A if you're going to keep working. I'll talk about that in a minute. But that is generally what you would do. He goes on to say the problem is my employer's insurance sucks with United Healthcare. So he's got a not good insurance plan at work. They dropped my primary care physician during the pandemic. Yes, during the pandemic. And not wanting to find a new doctor during the pandemic, he pays out of pocket. So he keeps going to the same doctor even though it's not on the plan. You know, this paraphrases right here one of the main issues that I have with Medicare Advantage. It functions the same way as this, where a doctor, your doctor, can be in the plan one day, the next day they're no longer in the plan, and it's absolutely complicated the older you get. So he still goes and he pays out of pocket, which is ridiculous. So he has insurance, but he doesn't use his insurance because it's not working for him. As an aside, my dentist dropped my health insurance because they hardly pay anything. Now, dental's probably on a separate policy, but yes, same thing with a dentist. He can be in and then he cannot be in. So complicated to work. So except for my prescriptions, my current insurance is essentially worthless unless I go to the hospital. So Bob's got a little different situation than a lot of people, but maybe not from many people. So finally to my question, number one, is it possible for me to remain employed? Number two, drop my current employer-based insurance. Number three, get fully insured by Medicare Part A, Part B, whatever else I may need. So I can answer his first question pretty easily. Yes, you can stay employed. Let's talk about the rest of it and exactly how it works with Medicare and when you're on employer coverage and if you're going to work past age 65. And certainly a lot of people, probably the majority of people, work past age 65 now. So it's important to understand how to function your Medicare with your work coverage. So now we're talking employer greater than 20. So employer insurance is the primary coverage. If you're at an employer that's less than 20, then Medicare is the primary. You're going to want to come off of that no matter what and go into Medicare if you work for somebody that has fewer than 20 employees. But here we have Bob working at this larger employer with not good insurance. So most of the time, if you work for a large company, let's say you work for the government, if you work for the government, chances are they're going to be paying, if not 100% of your premium for your health insurance, certainly most of it, and they'll probably have a pretty good plan. If that's the case, you're going to want to stay on that health insurance until you're ready to retire. Now back to the Part A scenario, where Part A, there's no cost to it. It used to be that Part A would start automatically, but now you have to elect Part A. So why would you not want to elect Part A? number one, it doesn't really do anything. So it doesn't coordinate benefits or anything, so it doesn't have any value there. But what it does do is it prohibits you from contributing to a health savings account. So if you're in a large employer, you probably have a health savings account where you contribute money. It's tax-free money when you contribute it, so there's no taxes coming out, so it's a great benefit. You want to do that when you can. But for whatever reason, Medicare says once you start Medicare, and not only once you start, that 6 months prior to when you start, you have to stop contributing to a health savings account. So it's an important thing to understand. It certainly gets messed up all the time. I've tried to find the ramifications for it, and I've been unsuccessful, but there are definitely penalties on the tax side, so you want to make sure that you do what you're supposed to do. So that aside, your Part A is an issue. Now, Part B, if you're going to stay on your employer's coverage, you do not want to start Part B, because it'll take away your trigger later. So your Part B has a monthly premium. It's about $170 a month right now. And if you start it when you're still working at age 65 and you work for 3 years or 4 years, when you do come into Medicare, you're not going to have freedom of choice because your Part B is that trigger later. So if you're working past age 65, you do not want to start your Part B. You want to start your Part B when you retire, whether it's 67, 77, doesn't make any difference. When you retire, let's say you retire at 77 and you start your Part B, just like you turn 65. So you have freedom of choice. You can pick any plan that you want. There's no medical questions. But if you start it early, number one, you're going to pay for it that entire time where it'll have absolutely no benefit. And number two, it takes away those triggers as you go. So yes, if you are at work and you have a good employer contribution, they pay most of your premium, they have a good health insurance plan, you want to stay on that plan. You probably don't want to start A, you definitely don't want to start Part B, so there's really nothing to do until you retire. If you are working for that large employer and like Bob, you have a crappy insurance plan and maybe they are only paying 50% of your premium, so it's still expensive for you, you probably do want to come off the plan. So if you want to come off the plan, really not hard. There are some scenarios with large employers where they will have an annual enrollment period, meaning you have to be on that plan until January 1. That's when you can make changes, or sometimes it's fiscal year, November 1, where that's when you can make changes. But for the most part, keep in mind that an employer, when you're turning 65, they really don't want you on their health insurance because you're a higher risk than the younger employees, so they would much prefer that you go into Medicare. So talk to HR. Number one, find out, can I get off easily? Can we set it up for the first of the month of my 65th birthday month? So if you turn 65 June 15th, stuff's going to start on June 1st. So you need to end your employer coverage on June 1st and then start Medicare A, Medicare B. It's pretty easy to do. I created a link to get you to the page on Social Security. That's where you sign up at Social Security. If you simply go to www.startpartb.com, takes you right to that page, and then it's pretty much just fill in the blanks. So you'll start it on the first of the month that you turn age 65 and stop your current group insurance that same day. And that's about it. So hopefully, if you're in that situation, you found this helpful, and subscribe to my channel for future emails that we respond to, and hopefully I'll give a clear picture for everybody when they're coming in Medicare, or even if you're already into Medicare, I'll have some questions there as well. So hope you found this helpful. Stay tuned. I'll show you how to download my book. Have a fantastic day. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video. I hope you found it very helpful. Here are a couple other things that you'll also find helpful as you go through Medicare. The first one is a copy of my book, Medicare Made Clear. You can download it right now for free. I've put a lot of time and effort into this book, and you'll see I cover just about every piece of Medicare, and I've written it in a way that makes it pretty easy to understand. Now, I also have videos throughout the book, so if you don't want to read through all the information, click on the video and I'll explain it all to you right there. You'll also find all the links that you need to either sign up for Medicare or things that you're going to need now or in the future when things come up related to Medicare. So take just a minute. Go to medicareonvideo.com/free book and you can download it right now. Now also make sure once you're in Medicare that every year you come back and visit Medicare Price Check. This is my other website where I make it super easy for us to compare our current coverage against new plans that may be less expensive. And remember that Medicare supplements are standardized, so it doesn't matter which insurance company we use, we'll still have the same Plan G or the Plan N that we have now, but hopefully we can get it at a lower price. So visit MedicarePriceCheck.com. Real easy. We'll email you the quote. If it makes sense, then we'll do it from there. So I hope you found all this helpful. Have a fantastic day. Hey, don't go anywhere. These are some of my most recent videos right here. You can also find the link right below this video to download my book, Medicare Made Clear, absolutely free. You can also subscribe to my channel right here. So please download my book, watch some videos, subscribe to the channel. Have a great day.